back here at the NRA National Sporting Arms Museum here in Springfield, Missouri at Bass Pro Shops. I'm here with Jim Supica. Jim, what an amazing place you've put together here. Thanks for bringing us in here for Curator's Corner on Sportsman Channel to talk about and show people what's happening here. We're kind of going through the timeline of history. Tell us where we're at now.
Well, we are entering the era of metallic cartridges and repeaters, kind of that 1850 to 1900 period. Coincidentally, also the glory years of the American Old West, probably the most iconic and romanticized era in history ever anywhere. So we've got great guns here that people know and love, and the examples of the sporting arms of that era. But when you talk about repeaters, we start here with the Lewis Clark exhibit, and we have in there a very, very early repeater that actually predates this era. This would be from about 1800, 1805. But this rifle resting on the trunk is an odd-looking gun. It's a air rifle. Now, when you say air rifle, you think Red Ryder BB gun, you shoot your eye out, kid. This throws a .48 caliber lead ball, nearly a ½ inch diameter lead ball with enough force to penetrate a 1-inch pine plank at 100 yards. The buttstock is an air reservoir. You pump it 1,500 times to get an 800 psi charge there. Lewis and Clark took one of these with them on their expedition. Every time they met a new tribe, they made a point to demonstrate this to them. Now, the tribes were very familiar with the flintlocks. They knew them. They used them. This gun fired silently, without the cloud of smoke. But the thing that was most impressive about this gun is that alongside the barrel, you have a 22-round magazine.
Wow.
This gun could be fired 22 times from that one charge of air in the tank as fast as you could cock the hammer and pull the trigger. So this was an unimaginable level of firepower in that era.
Such technology at that time.
Just a total breakthrough, totally unimaginable level.
Wow.
Well, now as you get into the era when repeaters started to become common, that didn't mean the single shot died away. The single shots were highly favored by hunters, such as the Winchester high wall, the Winchester rolling block. Any number of different single shot rifles were very preferred by hunters, including the classic Sharps rifle that you think of when you think of the Buffalo rifle.
Yep.
Now this Sharps is near and dear to our hearts, because this is the rifle that Charlton Heston held above his head on that cover picture of First Freedom, when he gave his famous "From My Cold Dead Hands" speech. So this is an authentic Buffalo Hunter era rifle, but it's also got some more contemporary history with it.
Well, we called him a goosebump rifle.
It is a goosebump rifle, it really is. Go on into the classic Winchesters, beginning with the brass frame model 1866, and then you just count down a Winchester innovation every few years. 1866, 1873, 1876 model, 1886, 1892, and then the classic 1894, the beginning of the smokeless powder era, and this was the pickup truck gun rack rifle throughout the first half of the 20th century, well into the second half of the 20th century.
And we talk about function, innovation, and evolution, but also you talked about art and form. What a beautiful form, the Winchester repeating rifle, the lever action.
It's an American classic, no question about it, associated with the American character, associated with the American West, a beautiful and highly functional firearm.
Beautiful. Let's move on here on this case. I'm getting a lot of goosebumps this time.
This is a great case. There were other repeaters. Winchester wasn't the only one who made lever action rifles. You had Mossberg as a very dominant maker of lever actions. Whitney and Whitney Kennedy made great lever actions. This weird-looking Evans rifle at the top of the rack,
that's funky.
It held 34 rounds in a spiral magazine inside the buttstock, a remarkable capacity for a very effective repeating rifle. Now, beyond lever actions, there were also pump actions. Colt made some great pump actions in 3 frame sizes, and this represented the very beginning of the bolt action, as you see on the bottom of this rack with the Remington Keen sporting rifle.
And then what do we wrap up with here?
Well, here we're looking at the shotguns of the era, and of course this is the era of the double-barrel shotgun. A lot of guns you could say won the West, but by golly, I bet you for every pioneer that came west, there was a double-barrel shotgun of one type or another with them. But it wasn't the only thing available. This was the beginning of the era of the repeating shotgun. So you have the Spencer pump shotgun on the bottom, the very earliest pump action, and pretty quick Winchester got into the act, and certainly their perfection of that line in the late 19th century was the model 1897 pump shotgun.
Jim Supica, another great segment here at the Curator's Corner. More to come from the NRA National Sporting Arms Museum here in Springfield, Missouri, next week on the Curator's Corner.
We'll do the 20th century.
Let's move into the 20th century next time.
Cool.